just like we already started, but yay. Welcome everybody to Elle's Kitchen. You've heard of it. This is Elle's Kitchen. What my kitchen is that because of who I am, I cook according to my likes and my preferences. And I think that's what most chefs do, although not a chef, but I am a cook. And what that means, Elle's Kitchen means creativity. And as you know, Chen, I have the 7 essentials of well-being. Creativity is essential. So when I do my cooking, it's an opportunity for me to combine a couple of essentials. So the very first essential is food. I think I'll just go through those 7 essentials now so you're aware that that's the framework that I'm working with. The 7 essentials of well-being that I've developed because I needed a framework to live my life in the most comfortable, peaceful, harmonious way with a spiritual path. And for me, paying good attention to the body temple, to your physicality is crucial for any kind of spiritual path. So because of my interest in being able to combine, the mind, body, spirit, the 7 essentials is what I developed as a way of practicing, daily practice in all 7 areas so that nothing is neglected and all parts of myself are attended to. So the very first essential is food. And you do Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that triangle, the very base one, of course, is food and all those basic needs. Food, number 1, movement of the body, number 2. The third one, creativity. The 4th, nature. The 5th, your emotions and your emotional state. The 6th, sleep. And the 7th, breath, yoga, meditation. That's what I call it, which is that last chakra. It's really a chakra that we're following here from the food as the red base chakra all the way up to the yoga, breath work, meditation. So the idea is to attend to those every day, all of those things. Now I have a bracelet on my hand that
it's color-coded.
Yeah, it's color-coded. And it's sort of like my rosary. So I have my red here and the orange, and then it goes to the yellow, creativity, green, nature, blue, emotions, indigo, sleep, and purple is the yoga, breath work, meditation. And so this is a great reminder that this is what I want to tend to each day.
That's so neat.
Yeah, it is. And it helps me prioritize, because sometimes I think I have, some ADHD going on, ADD or anything you want to call that, where I can be distracted and move from one thing to another. And sometimes it's hard to think, well, what do I need to do? What do I need to do now? And it turns out that if I tend to these priorities, things all kind of go into place pretty well. I can fit in other things that I need to get done along with what must be done.
Yeah. So Miss Elle, I have a question. I know you are a professor at Penn State who teaches communication. So did you develop your interest in wellness through your teaching, or is that something else that you slowly developed throughout the years? I'm just interested in your journey.
Thank you for asking. My undergraduate degree is in theater, so I really feel that my roots are in art. I have artistic roots. My master's degree is in communications, and our department at Penn State is called Communication Arts and Sciences.
Wow.
And so it's a nice combination for me. I really love science. And I think that science provides really good evidence and motivation for us to participate in good eating, for instance, when we know that there's evidence that certain foods do certain things for us. So I feel we are blessed by science. At the same time, art is something beyond science. Art is something that it treads forward where science has not yet been able to lay a groundwork. If you know what I mean. It's kind of like this example. Science fiction is a good example. That's an art form. And at the same time, science fiction sort of lays out a vision of what our future might be based upon, the science that will come along.
I never thought about science fiction that way. That's so neat.
Yeah, so I have a strong belief in both of those areas. And fortunately, when I teach at Penn State, I'm able to bring the art of communication and presentation and performance, and also the science of communication to my students. And when you talk about this whole idea of wellness, then it's like, well, where does that fit in? I struggled a little bit at Penn State with that part because meditation, yoga, some of these things are not considered academic. And yet our students need access to tools for their well-being. And so I bring them to the classroom. I do. There's nothing that prepares you to give a speech better than coherent breathing. Nothing. Because breath brings you into your body. It ignites the parasympathetic nervous system so that you begin to get centered into yourself. Your brain slows down to an alpha place where it's ready to function. So there's a science behind that. But, whenever you first introduce the idea of sitting in meditation and doing breath work, sometimes that, didn't fly so well, but it's gaining more acceptance.
Mm. Yeah, thank you for introducing that to us. I appreciate it.
Okay, so should I get my my food cooking here?
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to it.
Okay, so just to tell you a little bit more about Elle's Kitchen, what I like to do because of my creative nature is I like to be unplanned and spontaneous. And so I don't look for a recipe and then, go out and buy everything for the recipe. That's too structured for me. What I enjoy doing is going to the farmer's market or Trader Joe's or Giant or Weis, any of the markets, and seeing what pleases me. And what pleases me are in the farmer's market is what's fresh, and what's in season. The other thing that pleases me is new and novel things that I've never tried. So I thought maybe I would share my my shopping list this week and just tell you how I worked with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so on Tuesday I went to Boalsburg Market, and that's in Boalsburg, and it's now at the fire station, and there's different farmers that have set up shop there. So I just walk around and I take my basket. This is what I carry. And I love that. I love not using the plastic, and I love being able to just put all my vegetables together in that basket. And so this week, what I got was kohlrabi, spinach. I have a list here I'm looking at. Parsley, arugula, organic beans, like a package of 16 different beans, sweet potatoes. That's what I got at the Boalsburg Market. Now, as you can see, that's all vegetables except for the beans. And I am a vegetarian or a pescatarian. I do eat fish, but I don't eat any meat, no poultry, no pork, and no beef. So they, at the farmer's market, they really didn't have any fruit except for apples. And so I went to Trader Joe's for some fruits, and I got pears. I wanted to show you my pear. Oh, these are so cute. They had a bag of
nice
rainbow pears.
nice.
So beauty and color and shape and things like that, that attracts me. That influences my cooking. And I'm sure most chefs would say they like that. And so I got that, and I got the basil.
Oh,
and got blueberries and pomegranate. So those are my fruits and vegetables. Oh, and then I had one more resource, and that is my fall garden. I put in a little garden at the beginning of September. I just got a bunch of plants from Lowe's, and I put in lettuce, broccoli, parsley, lemon balm, lettuce, did I say? And some pepper plants. So now we're at the end of the season. My broccoli is still coming up. I didn't use that today, but I do have some lettuce that I'm going to put with my dish just so that I have that. When I cook, I like to cook, and I like to have, warm things, but every meal, no matter what it is, I always have fresh things with it. I think that just really changes everything when you have fresh fruit with it or fresh herbs. So anyway, that's what I had to work with. So then it's like, okay, well, what do you do now with this big shopping list? And what I do is, oh, did I say fennel?
No, you didn't, but now we know.
Okay, yeah. That was the big one that I did this week that I don't know. I never cooked with it. This is fennel. I already have it prepared, ready for sauteing, but it has this beautiful frond, that on the end of it. And I understand all parts of it are edible. Another thing about the way I cook is I do not like to throw anything away. I have the end of a pepper here from last week, and it's still good. I'm not going to throw it away. I just like to keep and eat every part of the vegetables that I have. And what's good about that is, well, it's, doesn't waste food. And also it makes you creative with how you're going to use it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I put one of these fronds in this soup. I'll show you. I made this soup today out of those 16.
Oh, looks nice.
And I put one of those fennel fronds in it, and then I took it out to see what it tastes like, and it's really good. So I would not have thought to do that, but I'm now going to try to figure out something to do with those fennel fronds. So let me just tell you about.
Great with fish.
Pardon?
They work really well with fish because they're anise flavored.
Yes, Anna Marie, that's what I'm making. That's what I'm making.
Yeah, I use the carrot tops too.
Do you with the fish?
You can do it, but I usually use the carrot tops separate. I saute the carrots and the stem part, and then leave the leafy parts for last in a reduction.
Okay, sounds nice. So this little bean dish is your trifecta: onion, carrot, celery in a vegetable tomato broth with rosemary, thyme, and fennel. So there's lots of flavor. And then I put the fresh spinach from the market in it too. It's pretty nice, very hearty.
Yeah.
All those, as you can see. So yeah, so then since I didn't know anything about fennel, I usually do go online and try to find a recipe or something that gives me inspiration. And just like Anna Marie said, fennel is good with fish.
Mm.
So I found a recipe for spaghetti and crab and fennel.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So that's what I'm making now. But as some people know, I'm very weight conscious. So I try to not eat a lot of pasta. I love pasta and I do eat it. But I thought, well, why not use spaghetti squash?
Oh.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do spaghetti squash, and it's in the oven now. It's baking. You have to just, what I did is put oil on it and some salt and pepper, and I also put some South African smoke in it because I like herbs and flavor. I think one of the things about being vegetarian is that, you know, you don't have that really great meat, fat, tasty stuff to work with. And, you know, so you have to be creative to find enough flavor in other things to make your food really tasty, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm doing now is I'm heating up the oil because I'm going to make the sauce for the crab, and it just takes chopped garlic. I have two cloves of garlic I'm putting in here. And then I'm going to, I decided one of the things I bought at market, I didn't put this down here, leeks.
Oh.
I really like leeks, and but this recipe did not call for them. But look at this. This is fennel and this is leeks. They look alike. And so I'm thinking if they look alike, they're going to go together.
Right.
So that's my decision making on that. So what I'm doing now is just I'm cutting the leeks into you know, like 1/4 inch bite size. Pieces. My garlic's already cooked. It's already getting brown. It is weird to cook in front of people, isn't it?
Actually, we couldn't really see how you're cooking, but it gives it a little mystery. It feels like whatever goes behind the basil, then boom, it becomes delicious food.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't have I can show you. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, we can see it great.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just, I'm sauteing this. That's the fennel. And now I'm going to put the leeks in it too. I like leeks because, you know, they have that oniony kind of flavor, but it's not very strong, not as strong as an onion. And it should go nicely with this, I think. But, you know, this is the other thing. You know, I never made this before. This is the first time. First time.
Yeah.
So that's part of the fun. And
yeah, you are taking us on a journey of food and creativity. So that's 2 of 7 elements today.
Exactly. It's exactly right. It combines them. Now I'm going to put the hot pepper in there. Which that suits me fine. I almost always have to have something hot in my food. So that looks pretty good. Okay, now right here, I actually have never cooked with crab before. This is what I got at market today, at Weiss Market. It's not the most expensive. It's the claw instead of the other part of the crab. So I just didn't want to spend all that much money. So I used this. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, looks great.
There it is. Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sauteing. I'm not trying to overcook the vegetables. And now I think we're going to take a look in the oven and see if the spaghetti squash is ready. So hold on one second. Woo! The other thing I'm cooking in there at the same time, I put it on the same pan, is the kohlrabi.
Oh.
People don't usually eat kohlrabi, right?
I don't know what kohlrabi is. What is kohlrabi?
Well, this is roasted kohlrabi right here.
Oh, that looks good.
Here's the spaghetti squash. It's in half. But the kohlrabi is a hard vegetable like a turnip.
Oh.
Only or a parsnip. And the way I made this is I cut it up into pieces kind of like home fries. Then put some oil on it and Parmesan cheese and salt and pepper. So that's
sounds like a much healthier French fry.
Yeah. Okay, so they're done. I'm going to turn off my oven. All right, now I don't know if you've ever used spaghetti squash before.
No, I haven't. Oh, I hear my voice.
Well, what happened in sound there? Is that... There we go.
Now it's good. Yeah, now it's good. It's okay.
Good. Okay, so here's what you do with spaghetti squash. If you've never done this before, you just scrape it away with a fork. And it has what looks like spaghetti.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's so cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, for anyone who didn't know, earlier I was doing echoing sound, so that's what happened.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, that's a really healthy way to have like noodle alternatives.
Yeah. There's just not even any comparison because there's absolutely no fat, calories in the spaghetti squash. So here's what the plate looks like right there with the spaghetti squash.
Oh, nice.
I'm putting my little lemon there. I'm just opening it up a little bit because I'm about ready to put the sauce on. Okay. So now I take that sauce that I made and put it on top. This looks like a pretty hearty dish now. We have everything on top. But what I love about this is it's not over yet. We've got lots of herbs to put on. Not lots, but a couple.
So Helen, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Yeah, Helen, I have a question for you. So how long did you cook the squash in the oven?
1 hour.
Because this is that I think that time is very important.
I think Miss Al said 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yes.
You can
Yep.
shoot and use the microwave if you want to for about 6 to 10 minutes, depending on how big it is.
Wow.
You
Okay.
cook that, but then you don't get that roastedness. I like
It
this.
is true.
I like that roasted stuff.
Oh.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you have a butane torch, you can do that afterwards too, and it does give a nice roasting. Hey, some of us have a few toys.
That's very creative, Anna Maria. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, so now I'm putting on basil, fresh basil, mint, fresh mint, nice. And think I'll do a little of my red pepper that I showed you. It'll add a nice little touch of color. That's always important, you know, what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask you, because based on your shopping list, seems like you get a basket of rainbows. I was wondering, like, is that also a very important thing to keep in mind when we do grocery shopping?
Well, to my view, yes, because then you have a palette to work with.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can see what colors you have and make some decisions based on that. So here's another thing that I'm doing with this dish. It's almost done. I mean, you could say it is done right. It could be done right now. But in terms of my eating pleasure, I want to have something else in this plate. Like I said, I always like something fresh. Besides those fresh herbs, I am going to put some persimmon and gooseberries on this plate. And I'm not doing a thing to them. No sauce, no vinegar, no yogurt, just the fresh fruit. And so now what happens, you squeeze that lemon, and then when you take a bite, you can take a bite of the persimmon or the gooseberry. And how many of you cook with those things? They're so unusual. I never knew what a gooseberry was till last week. And I love them. They are, they look like a little tomato, right?
Oh, yeah. How does it taste?
It tastes more like a fruit. It's a little sweet, but not too sweet like a fruit. It's tangy. And so
sour, it's a little bit sour, I think.
A little sour.
Yeah. It's Ana Maria, this is like uchuva.
What?
Okay.
Do you know uchuva? Uchuva?
Maybe by another name.
Kind of fruit.
Mom?
That's very common in Colombia. I think it is the same.
Oh.
¿Cuál es, Mom? Which one is it, Mom?
What?
Mom.
Which one?
Which, can you repeat that, Sophia, please?
The name is uchuva. UCHUVA. Uchuva.
I don't know that.
It is delicious. It's really good. It's a fruit, but it looks like a tomato, a little tomato, like the cherry tomato, but it's yellow. It's a fruit.
Kind of looks like this.
Yeah. I think that it is the same.
It might be the same thing.
So Anna found the Colombian alternative to your recipe.
Yeah. So the only bad thing is that we don't have squash.
Oh, you can use spaghetti.
I'm just tasting it now because I want to see what it needs.
Yeah, we're just jealous of you for being able to tasting it.
It's good.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, it smells good.
Yeah, it's good.
It looks really good. Miss Al, before you finish it, please take a picture for so people who are like us can see what it looks like. It looks really good from the camera.
So can I do that now while I've got you on here?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sure, absolutely.
Okay.
That's the
Really?
cat taste of the dish.
Yeah, it's great. I will highlight your computer instead.
Okay. And I turned down the volume on that. So now I'm yellow. Okay. Well, what I was going to show you next was, that was my vegetable dish. Now it's my fruit dish, right?
Oh, nice.
So
That's why we
are you
have
with me?
different coloration.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you great.
Uh-oh.
We can hear you.
So I don't hear you, Chen. Are you muted?
No, I'm not muted. I think you need to turn on your volume on the computer. Oh, I guess you couldn't hear me.
It might be this. If I turn, can you see that?
Oh, we can't see the food, but we can see you great.
Yeah, I know. You can't see the food. My phone says the host will let you in.
Oh, if you want to join with your phone instead, I will do that. Let me give it a try.
Okay. The next step are the nuts. And when you're a vegetarian, you need to get all the protein you can get. And nuts is a great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, good. So after the nuts, now I have a little bit of coconut. And I'm putting that on top.
Mm.
That makes it sweet.
And also give you the little crunchiness.
And little crunchiness with the nuts and the coconut. And then the next thing I'd like to do, just to sweeten the pot, this is honey from my brother's beehives.
Mm.
And just a little drizzle. And then finally, whenever I can, I like to use cinnamon. It's so good for you. Plus it just adds, always adds. And then the fresh, this is from the garden, the lemon balm.
Mm.
For each one.
Seems like you hit all the colors for the two dishes you are making today.
Yeah. That's the idea.